Chair. Mr Chair.
Honourable Joe Goodhue.
Thank you, Mr Chair, for the opportunity to contribute to this debate. I wanted to add to the debate an element of the measures that the government is currently taking to support students. And I'm going to do so at a time where we are hearing quite a lot of debate about what students do with the money that the government sends their way for support of their tertiary education. So I'd like to talk a little bit about my responsibilities within the social development portfolio for student loans. So we've made changes to the student support. It's allowed us to free up money that we can invest in improving the quality of the tertiary education we provide. So back in 2011 we passed legislation to make sure benefit and student allowances increase every year along with inflation. Now that lines very nicely up with the same changes that we made to give some certainty for increases to other welfare payments as well. Interestingly, that was not an action taken by the previous Labor government along with their partners in arms, the Green Party at the time. Each year, the rates and thresholds for a range of work and income and study-linked assistance will rise to keep up with increasing living costs. And back on the 1st of April this year, we saw the annual general adjustment go up by 0.51%, which of course was indexed at the time. So we are supporting students. We're retaining the student loan repayment threshold at $19,084 until April 2017, increasing the student allowance rates for families with children by $25 a week. That will kick in on the 1st of April next year, and retaining the student allowance parental income threshold at $55,027.96. The other thing that we're doing for students, and let's face it, a lot of what we hear about students is that they are time poor. They're very busy studying. They're very busy in many cases with some part-time work to support their study. And this year, more than 130,000 students have benefited from the improvements that we've made to student loan and allowance application processes. These make it easier in the following ways. They allow for a pre-filled online application process. That saves about 30 minutes for every student getting on there. Now, the one other thing that does is it saves money for the taxpayer, because the taxpayer is not spending more time with these students, getting the answers from these students in order to fill in the necessary forms to apply for things. So, in fact, we are in that same way getting better bang for the buck for our taxpayers as well. There's also a digital repository called Connect that allows students and parents to scan the necessary documents, the evidence that they need to apply to StudyLink. You know, there's some amazing statistics that demonstrate how well this is going. Unanswered calls have been slashed from 800,000 unanswered calls back in 2013 to less than 8,000 this year. That means, again, a saving for the taxpayer, because 22.5% drop in foot traffic at the StudyLink offices. So this is yet another example of this government being careful with the money that the taxpayers are entrusting to us. Now, it's been said in the House this afternoon, and I'm going to say it again because we can't say it often enough, the way for families to help themselves if they are dependent on a welfare benefit is wherever possible for the government to assist them into work. That is how their children, their lives, their health, their welfare indeed is bettered. And so therefore this government is going to many lengths, extreme lengths in some cases, to assist families to benefit from having work, having an income coming into their households. We've heard debated here today sanctions, and it is reprehensible to hear members of this House misrepresent the obligations we place on people and the way that sanctions are applied, because we know at the heart of this that if sanctions are applied, that means quite a drop in income. That is never done without good cause. And if there are reasons for that person to have failed an appointment, then all they have to do is say so. But we also know that having an excuse repeatedly, time after time after time again, might indicate an inability to really show commitment towards going to appointments, to undertaking training, therefore no commitment to bettering their own lives.
Phil Twyford.
Chairman, earlier in this debate,